Hey guys, it's Charlie again with Outskirts Overland. It's the second day in a row. Um, Appreciate anybody that listens. I'm kind of trying to work out some kinks with my car audio situation. It was on Bluetooth yesterday. Then I tried to do it today with my CarPlay plugged in. That wasn't working, so now I'm just on the phone. I did upgrade my phone to the 16 Pro, so hopefully that's better. I also cut out yesterday a couple of times. And for those of you that didn't listen to that and don't care, sorry, I'm covering it. And I was like, I don't like that so much. You guys got the gist of it because I repeated myself, thankfully. I'm taking a different route to work today in hopes of better service. I got to get my mics in the car. My mics are in the truck. For those of you that don't know, I think I've talked about it. I bought a Subaru Forester Wilderness. That's what I'm in today. If I ever podcast on the road, it's typically in my truck, so all my mics are there. So I got to just make that something I make a habit of getting in the vehicle. But I came on today again because I was like, I could do these 10-minute, 15-minute things pretty much every day. And I don't talk about it a lot, but I used to be a personal trainer, nutrition coach for I don't know, a long time, 15 years, something like that. And I used to do lives for my clients like every day, something about mentality or this or that. And at one point, I did it for like 60 days straight. And even today, sometimes those show up on like my memories and stuff, and I'll re-listen to them, and I'm like, man, I had some good thoughts. So I thought, well, maybe I'll see what I could do with that in this space. Um, so I'm coming in day two because I'm often driving to work and I don't listen to drop the kids off and stuff, which I just did. And I don't listen to music, so I'm just thinking. It's a time for me to think, and then I have thoughts that probably leave me. I don't remember them again. So, anyways, I was coming in today. The wind's crazy here again in Missouri. It was crazy all weekend, and it made me think. I don't know that I've ever covered navigate camping in these high winds. So for clarity, yeah, I'm in Missouri. It's the Midwest, so it's tornado country. We get lots of temperature fluctuations, weather fluctuations. I mean, it was 80 on Friday. Saturday it was 50. Saturday night it snowed. Like stuff like that. Like it's pretty crazy here. Um, and we're back to 66 degrees right now today. I'm again. So I just wanted to cover high wind camping because it's gonna be relevant to everybody at some point. So first thing I've been hearing everybody talk about, how to set up like if you're in a rooftop tent, how's that work? I have a wedge style rooftop tent, and I always point the high wedge, to the direction of the wind. I also don't set up my tent until I'm about to get in it, so I don't let my tent just sit there and get jacked around all uh all day long. Also, and I feel like this goes without saying. But before you go on a trip or before you set up camp, you should check the weather. And like although an awning is a really nice thing to block the sun, you will straight wreck an awning, potentially even a rack, or at least some extrusion on your rack, putting your awning out in the high winds. Even if you stake it down, it can just be too much for it. So just be like for real, be cautious of the wind in your awning. uh, Freestanding awnings are like super popular right now. I have a freestanding awning. I think I've freestood my awning for a picture one time. I'm always staking that thing down and putting the legs out because I do know the potential for it to just get ripped to shreds. Awnings aren't made to handle anything above like 15 mile per hour winds. I mean, I'm talking out my ass, but like, I think that's right. So just like awnings, man, don't put your awnings out if it's windy. And I mean, we had wind, like 50, 60 mile an hour wind. Like it was pretty gnarly. And then naturally, me and my girlfriend went up in the tent early and watched Twisters. But, when in Rome, right? Like, whatever. Um, but, anyways, so I always point my wedge at it. If you've got a clamshell tent, you're going to want to point that hard side toward the wind. If you've got a full soft tent, I would take the profile of the tent and it's going to be wide out from your vehicle. I'd get it skinny, like the skinnier part, the peak of the roof and stuff toward the wind as well. It'll still be windy, but it's not going to be windy the whole side of the tent just. Now, if you're a ground tent person, I saw some gazelles out there and stuff. Just make sure you bring extra guidelines so that you can stake it down a little bit more. Maybe even take the same guideline and stake it out in a V, if that makes sense. Where you come out with one, I would almost loop that through and do two on every point, just so you got more anchor. I mean, you don't want to be like taking your tent, like crushing it with that, but like, again. And then I saw some just regular tents, like backpacking tents. And those individuals are trying to block them with their vehicle, but even so, some stuff gets under your vehicle. That's a good place for, like, if you're camping with a bunch of people and you're in a regular ground tent, to if anybody's got any boxes or anything, put those under your vehicle, and then your tent, to block the wind. Do the best you can. So I figured I'd cover that. Also, cooking. Man, cooking is the bane of my existence when it's windy. But luckily, long time ago, because all these camp stoves, like, wind really affects how they do everything. And some stoves come with the little wind guards, but I have like singular ones. And I just bought a big, like, sheet metal. It folds up like, I don't know, 6-8 inches by 2 inch pieces, and they all collapse. And I like wrap it around my stove. That's a huge help. Make sure you're looking at that. I think, man, I've had that thing for years. And I'm talking like years and years. I think I bought it, I don't know, Amazon will tell me like 2021 probably. Maybe 2020. I don't know. I've had a long time. And I got it on Amazon, and now I do know inflation's like a thing. But I think I paid like, man, I couldn't tell you. I think I paid like, I don't know, 10-15 bucks for it. And I use it all the time because it doesn't take a lot of wind. 60-mile-per-hour wind, 50-mile-per-hour wind, 30-mile-per-hour wind. Yeah, that's affecting it. But like even just breeze, I'm like, screw it. Because what you're doing when it's so windy is you're cranking those stoves up, and then you're burning through fuel. I carry a little extra fuel, but I'm not like a nutcase about it. So I'm really paying attention to how temperature control works. And if you block the wind, you're allowed to have a little bit better temperature control. So blocking the wind on your cooking stove is huge, huge, because they're all propane or, whatever, propane, isobutane, whatever. And it's very affected by the wind. So look at camp stove. I just go on Amazon camp stove windshield, camp stove wind guard, something like that. You'll find a whole bunch of them. Some that'll fit your application. We even figured out like one of the tailgater tables, like little tailgater table things, went around my buddy's. It fit right around my buddy's little 17-inch Blackstone. Because again, he's had the same problems. Like, this wind is killer on your flame for your cook stove. So yeah, making sure extra stakes, extra guidelines, pointing your tent, the hardest part or the skinniest part of your tent toward the wind, and using extra stakes is huge. Using extra stakes, if you got a tent that's got like a singular eyelet, go in that eyelet, out that eyelet, and stake both down at each point. It's going to give you a lot more wind protection, a lot more structural integrity from something that is not very structurally sound. So that's going to help you out. And I bring that up. I mean, I was thinking about today, it's so windy, and I'm like, man, I don't know that I've ever covered this, but even if I have covered it, you guys aren't going back and listening to every single thing I've ever said if you just picked me up today. So I'm like, I don't remember saying it, but here we are. But yeah, making sure you're paying attention to that for sure. And then again, when it's real windy, guys, making sure you're paying attention to, I wouldn't be doing a fire when it's super windy. I did a fire the next day when it wasn't as windy. But make sure you're paying attention to burn bans and stuff too, because when it's really, really windy, some of those embers can fly. I mean, we had a chair fall over and it burnt the chair up like quick. Like I was, uh, I was astonished how quick it put a hole in that chair. Like I'm talking like not even fractions of a second. So that was nuts. So just again, something to learn that I mean, I'm usually sitting in my chair or I always flip my chair over on itself when it's windy. That didn't happen in this case, but maybe either flip it down on itself so that it's, face down, or um, put like a piece of wood in it or something heavy, so that it doesn't go like that way into the fire, like into it. Those are all things that, like, again, I'm not perfect, but everything I'm telling you is learned, and if I can help you guys not have to learn it, that's what I'm here for, like hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes that I've made or my friends have made while they're with me that I like kind of take note of. Um, so just those are super nice things to think about. Also, another thing I do when it's windy, those of you that deal with trash bags or trash, if I take the trash bag out, there's a picture somewhere. Maybe I'll post it today. But I put the trash bag, like I squeeze the trash bag with my legs. So the trash bag's like secure between my legs because that's the worst of the worst. Your trash bag, you take your trash bag out of your trash roo, or some of my friends hang them on their rearview mirror of their vehicle. But like you take that thing off to put something big in it, and that freaking thing takes off. That's that's a nightmare. Like you can't just let that go. So just make sure you're paying attention. Like I always put it between my legs, grab it, fill it, put it between my legs. Like I'll just shuffle around, to get all my stuff. That's something to definitely consider and think about putting heavier things on things so they don't blow away. That's a huge thing. Like even like plates, I don't even know. Like I mean, almost everything when it's windy could take off when it's super windy. So just pay attention to it. Hopefully this stuff helps you out. And I'm going to try, I don't want to commit to anything too crazy. I'm going to try to put out these like way, way, way more often. Um, I think it's a little more digestible than having to sit down and keep a train of thought while I'm talking for an hour or 2 hours. I am recording tonight with Benji at Newfound Overland on his podcast. And again, those of you that listen to me and him together, we touch on some of this stuff, but most of what he touches on his podcast himself and I touch on my podcast myself isn't what we talk about. So we talk about completely different stuff. So that'll be up when it's up. But make sure you're paying attention to his podcast too, because then you get the power of two. So you're getting me and him, and we got we have some different experiences. So it's nice to get that, like, oh, this is what, Benji and Charlie think, here they do this or that. It's a little different. So make sure you guys go over there and listen to that. I really like collaborating and just freely talking. Me and him talk really well. So that's also super nice. But I'm doing that tonight. And I'm sure I'll be driving home from that because it's about an hour and a half to Benji from me. And probably have something to put up again tomorrow based off of like, you kind of have I don't know, what is it? After action, thoughts. Like, what did we talk about? How'd that go? So I may put something up again yesterday. Put something up again tomorrow. And just be on the lookout. I'll probably try and do these quite a bit more regularly. And then if I have something really big, I'll do a long form. But I will have this figured out with my, yeah, mics. Because I left them in the truck again. All right, guys. Well, I'll catch you later. Have a good day. Midweek hump day. Crush it. I'll see you guys later.